welcome to Will Throw the After Party, where Liz almost hit end broadcast instead of the takedown screen button. So that would have been a really good, strong start to tonight's show. I'm Liz, producer Liz everywhere on the internet, also known as your favorite sockfluencer. We'll talk more about that later. And tonight, it is Marissa and Sly and Liz throwing your after party with Alexis away this weekend, but I'm sure Alexis might have a chaotic appearance in the comments at some point tonight if she's available. She did leave many chaotic notes for us to read to you throughout this evening as we work through the show. So be excited about that. And it's so nice to see everyone here nice and early at a reasonable time for where they live. Welcome back to Bucky and JJ. And make sure to say hey if you're hanging out with us tonight. Marissa and Sly, what's going on in your world? Let's start with Marissa. Marissa, how's your evening going? How's your day going?
It's good. I slept until 1 p.m. today. Didn't intend to, just never set an alarm. And so I just kept sleeping. Sleeping off that good booster flu shot combo.
That good booster sleep.
Reminder to get your booster and your flu shot.
Tonight is Marissa's political activism show.
Call me out, Marissa.
Sly, I already called you out. You called yourself out in the pre-show. You don't need me for that.
It's fine. I'll schedule it eventually. The brain is not braining.
Honestly, in some areas, you don't even have to schedule it anymore. You can just show up and they'll stick it in your arm. So
that's how easy it is.
You never know.
Sly, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. I got a whole 3 beverages.
Shall we do a beverage check? Shall we do a beverage check?
A beverage check.
Okay,
I got the usual ice water, so I don't drink all of my water in the first half of the show and then have no water for the rest of it. I got great pamplemousse liqueur.
Marissa,
to have a little something exciting. And then I have the return of the Two Towns Cosmic Crisp cider, which I featured on this week's Thirsty Thursday.
I feel like Liz is lying. I feel like I just saw one beverage twice. Oh, let's do it.
3 water bottles. Also on my desk is an empty plate because Marissa was eating a PB&J in the pre-show, and I want a PB&J. It wasn't really a PB&J. It was a SB&J Sun Butter.
Oh, yeah. My brain went in many different directions. It's great. I'm very happy for you. I feel very left out as the celiac of the group, but it's fine. I could have made a gluten-free PB&J, but still wouldn't have been the same. It's fine. We also decided on chaotic backgrounds for this evening to match the vibe of our very chaotic show. We're having a slumber party, which means that it was just every idea we could think of thrown into the show doc. So a lot of fun games lined up for your entertainment this evening, and please contribute as the night goes on. These are all games that you can be involved in and require audience participation from time to time. So we want to hear from you. Tonight is not a night to sit back and relax. It's a time to be chatty with us as we work through the show. And hello to everybody watching the replay. Feel free to comment along as you watch as well. But it's not in my emotional support water bottle because sometimes I actually wash it. That's why I have 3 of these this evening, because the emotional support Starbucks cups are not available. Me adding blonde to an Eddie Diaz playlist is on brand for me. I'm like half following the conversation in the chat. What does that mean if that's my brand? I was thrown off guard, but that is my brand. Sly, do you understand what's happening here?
JJ has an Eddie Diaz playlist and is feeling called out by what he's choosing to add to it, which I'm going to say sounds like a personal problem.
Okay, I see. You have to follow the conversation farther up. First, he says, Alexis, I want to know what it means. I'm doing water and a local lager. And then it continues on.
I see. I did not read up for that. That's on me.
No, I was confused as well. It was... There's only so much room.
Our brain cells ain't this evening for any of us. It's going to be really great. What have we been up to this week? lots. Marissa had a very eventful week that we are not at all jealous of. You had a very thrilling start to your adventure. Do you want to tell the people where you were?
Yeah. I went to Los Angeles for Halloween. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Los Angeles. Hung out there for the weekend. I went out to the club. To the club.
You went out in a boat?
Out in a boat. I wore a turtleneck in the club because I was wearing my Halloween costume, which was a turtleneck.
Amazing.
The way I have an entire rant about turtlenecks, don't get me started.
I know you're not a fan.
Oh, I'm not a fan, but I also have an entire dissertation on the use of turtlenecks as costuming in Young Royal Season 1. I'm not getting into
that perfectly goes into like some of what you've been enjoying this week, Sly. It was a very timid start to your week where we got a text message that you were not sure about season 2. And then very shortly after, we received a clarification that season 2 was not to be concerned about and that we should all, in fact, watch it immediately.
I will get to that in my rants, actually.
Okay.
So we'll save
we won't spoil.
But what I've been up to, academia, very difficult. It's the time. I hyperfixating on something you don't necessarily enjoy, tiring. Also job searching, pain in the ass. So that's been what I've been up to this week.
Absolutely. You're really putting the dark in dark academia.
Jesus Christ.
I've been saving that joke. I have been, I didn't really think I got up to much this week. And then that's why I was struggling to put notes in the show doc as I was called out on our Twitter at After Party Show about. And then I came back to the show doc a few hours ago and other co-hosts had lovingly placed in things I had mentioned I had done throughout the week in various points of our show doc. And I was like, I feel seen. I feel understood. I did do things this week. Thank you everyone for reminding me. So that gives you a sense of what my life is like right now. I still have my Halloween costume beside me. This very lovely witch's hat, which fits over my headphones. See, so I was a very productive person wearing this all week. I might just keep it on for a few minutes, but I find it fun. Anywho, I'm partnered with Hank Green, which is very exciting. You can buy socks, your Awesome Socks Club 2023 subscription using my link and get $5 off your first pair, which is something I absolutely wanted to announce with a Twilight background and Dollarama witch's hat on. He really picked a great choice in partners for this one. It's a thrill to work with someone who I am so intimidated by and to now know what his assistant's email is. So thanks, Hank Green. Everyone should buy socks. They go to a good cause. 100% of profit gets donated, which is very exciting. And other than that, I've been screaming a lot. And on Monday, we find out who won the Best of Halifax, which you all voted for me for.
You say that, but I got an email saying the 10th.
So on Monday,
so you find out Monday?
Everyone on the email subscription list is going to find out Monday. But I don't know what we're finding out on Monday. Maybe it's just first place people. Who knows? Maybe it's just a few categories. But on Monday is early access to the Best of Halifax list. And then on the 10th, it's like published online. So I don't know how they're doing it. But supposedly on Monday, we'll get a wave of information. Either way, I'm going to have a panic attack about it. So it'll be great. So that's Monday. So everyone can hold my hand. And if you hear nothing from me on Monday, you know what happened. I'm a great loser.
I don't know any other TikTokers in Halifax, so you are the best TikToker in Halifax.
Thanks. I mean, there are people that have like millions of followers and are verified, but like it's fine.
But do they have Hank Green's assistant's email address?
I mean, they're certainly not spending their Saturday night doing this. So what does that tell you? I'm committed to the bit. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Either way, an honor to be nominated, right? That's what they say. An honor.
That is what they say.
Anything else we want to say before we rant? Are we ready to rant?
Oh man, are we?
Are we ever ready to rant? I have my holiday cup, and I know we're not formally celebrating the December holiday season yet, so perhaps I'll talk about holiday campaigns for my rant with my Halloween hat on to keep things non-denominational. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Everyone can get behind a cute little hot pink witch's hat. We don't need to talk about specific religious events yet. I'm going to be ranting about holiday campaigns, what I'm watching for, what I think of the ones I've seen so far. If you've seen a holiday campaign launch, whether it's for a December holiday, whether it's for Thanksgiving, let me know in the comments and I will add it to my rank. I don't think I have enough to fill the full time, which means I'm going to just defer to Marissa, and Marissa hates that. So Marissa, what do you...
I love getting deferred to. I don't know what Marissa's problem is with this.
I barely have enough to say in 2 minutes.
Okay, so you know what? Sly, you're in the middle of this. And then if Marissa defers time that I can fill, it's just going to go right back to you. Perfect.
Thank you, Bunky. Halloween isn't non-denominational.
Well, I didn't say Halloween, did I? I said this pink hat. Did I not say this pink hat specifically? It's great. I was talking about the hat. Sly?
Okay. I am ranting about I'm doing a listicle because Alexis isn't here, so I can steal her brand because #spousal privileges. So I'm doing a listicle on things that made me want to throw my phone out a window recently. And I tried to balance it. Some of these are lighthearted, some of these are serious. We're coping by making jokes. That's what we're doing.
Nice. Marissa, what are you ranting about?
Harry Ween.
Harry Ween. Did you dress up for Harry Ween?
I did.
You did dress
Pics
up for
on my
Harry
Instagram at Miss Abobissa.
We love a plug. So good. All right. I'm going to attempt to get started and find my thoughts. Okay, so it's the time of year where everyone gets up in arms about how much money corporations pay to make you buy things. Regardless of what you celebrate or believe in or want to see from the end of your year, you're about to be bombarded by capitalism. So what makes capitalism effective, and how do we rate good versus bad holiday campaigns, regardless of what that holiday is? I think the number one thing that we need to look for is that big gasp moment, whether it makes you happy, sad, want to dance, want to cry. If it doesn't have that, it's a bad campaign.
The first thing that made me want to throw my phone out the window recently is Anna Peterson not being credited as Balin on IMDb for Young Royals season 2. Thought she wasn't going to be in season 2. I grieved she was. It's fine. Next was a child being bullied into outing themselves to millions of people. That made me want to throw my phone out a window. Next was Marcus being jealous of Bunky. I thought we were respecting Marcus's privacy. Apparently he was offended.
Okay, something else that happened over my weekend when I went to Los Angeles is that I went to Harry Ween, which we glossed over because it's a sore subject. But it happened, and I went, and I lost my damn mind when the man walked out onto the stage dressed as Daniel Zuko. I can't explain to you how much Harry Styles and his band doing Grease for Harry Ween means to me specifically.
So the holiday campaigns that I've seen so far have been more towards those big gasp moments than not. So I'm feeling good about them, but I still want to rate the ones I have seen for all of you. The biggest gasp that I had was Jennifer Coolidge starring in the Old Navy holiday campaign, playing the piano. Genius! Whoever came up with that deserves $10 million on their next paycheck. It's so effective. It reads the room perfectly. I love it. I love that she's in Old Navy because she would never wear Old Navy.
The next thing that made me want to throw my phone out the window was somebody saying that cis women weren't allowed to enjoy media featuring MLM stories. That is a take. Also, Mac and JJ absolutely ruining my life this week on Thirsty Thursday with their choices for matching ships and characters to Midnight Songs. Also, people not believing in mail-in voting when Washington has been exclusively voting by mail for as long as I can remember.
Harry Ween doing Grease means more to me than anyone else in the world, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. And if you don't believe me, stop watching this show. Go away forever. Unfollow me. You're a hater. My first ever community theater production was Grease. I played Rizzo number 4. That's right. There were 4 Rizzos. We were 7. Then when I was a junior in high school, my first like big leading role was Grease. I again played Rizzo. I am a terminal Rizzo.
I love how we're trying to gain subscribers after those we have lost, and Marissa's actively telling people to stop subscribing and like leaving our community if they disagree about Grease, but it's fine. I get accepted because I know how much Grease means to you. The second campaign that I have seen everyone blow up about is the M&S commercial that uses Harry's Treat People with Kindness song, where they've got the marching band that goes through all the scenes. I thought it was very cute. I don't know what M&S is because I am not British, but it was a 9 out of 10 from me. Effective, but will get boring very quick.
The next was the Hermione fanfic that Liz found on TikTok. It was a time. Also, just the general idea that if you enjoy problematic media, that it automatically makes you a horrible person. You can enjoy bad things. I do it all the time. In addition, Chris vehemently denying that he's Eddie coded because he is like 100,000% Eddie DS coded. The word sorry to the point of me threatening bodily harm every time it was used in my vicinity.
Okay, here's the thing about me doing Grease in high school and playing Rizzo is that it sucked. It was a terrible experience. I was not fun, but it like meant a lot to me. I learned a lot as a performer. I like had a lot of growth, and like technically I was a lead when I was a sophomore because I was Bombalurina in Cats. Shout out to Taylor and Harry. That's right. I'm the child of divorced parents, but I was technically the understudy even though I did half the performances. So like Rizzo was my
first. Then you have Victoria's Secret, who absolutely shit the bed, and their holiday campaign should have revived them after all of the drama of that song, Victoria's Secret, that came out and got so popular on TikTok. But no, they launched the most white bread holiday campaign you will ever see in your life with the exact same cardboard cutout words and like stick thin models that you've seen every year in every ad campaign for as long as print media has existed. I'm so disappointed and I'm so angry about it, but I have ideas to fix it.
Another thing that made me want to throw my phone out the window this week was the color orange. If you know, you know. Every time it was used in every iteration made me want to scream and throw it out a window. And my last point is having to explain once a week what the hell Dutch Bros is. For the past 2 goddamn years, you would think my friends, my compatriots, would learn eventually what Dutch Bros is. But no, this is year 2.
It's a coffee shop. I have a very complicated and tumultuous relationship with Grease throughout my life. But it means a lot to me. And it was something that I never could have imagined would be the Harry Ween costume theme. So I truly lost my goddamn mind. You can see it on my TikTok. I genuinely almost passed out. I had to like bend my knees so I wouldn't like lose it.
It means a lot. Needs to hire Sabrina Carpenter to come be their holiday angel. Okay. And then she can take her song Nonsense, which she writes a different outro to at every show she's done, and be like, make it some kind of joke about like unwrapping me, I'm the angel on top of your tree. And like all of her tour aesthetics match the Victoria's Secret aesthetics. All the girly pops would go buy the clothes for Christmas because everyone loves her. She's the it girl of the moment. It would fix so many of their problems with TikTok.
All right, I didn't realize that we were doing the extended version of these rants where we go past the usual allotted time for these. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about how much I love Malin. And Alexis called me out for making her believe that Malin was the main character. Malin is absolutely not a main character. She's only in 6 episodes and 2 seasons, but she's the best. And every time she's on screen, I'm watching her. It doesn't matter how pivotal the moment is on screen. I love her to pieces.
I'm just going to do a plug for the TikTok video of me screaming at the top of my lungs to the point that I almost lost my voice about the Grease reveal at Harry Ween, because I also made some incredible edits of the actual pictures of me in Grease in high school, but all of the other people on screen are Harry Styles. And they're at the end of that video, and I would really recommend going and looking at them because they're very funny. And like, yes, the boy is Kaneki, but it works.
I love that for you.
It's truly a masterpiece. Like, you've been on, can we get a round of tacos for Marissa making like a TikTok? I don't want to say a comeback because you've still been on TikTok, but like you're in a moment. Like, spotlight is on Miss Obobissa on TikTok right now. I'm living for it.
This is what happened when I finally moved back out of my parents' house, is the like insecure part of my brain that was like, I can't be unhinged. My parents can hear me in the other room. And turns out the internet appreciates when I'm unhinged.
It works. It works. Just like I said this week, TikTok is not for the glossy. That's why Victoria's Secret doesn't work on TikTok. That's why all these brands from the 2010s aren't working right now, because TikTok is a place to be your most chaotic self. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into our next segment of the night, I'm going to do a nice little moment because I need to be drunk for this conversation.
Can I say something? I'm going to say something. I'm going to meet everyone and I'm going to say something. No, I'm kidding. I've started when I'm drinking like pop or whatever, like with those kind of like sound, like I open it and makes that kind of sound, or like a really satisfying like twist open of a drink on my work calls, putting it next to my microphone, and I won't even realize, but it's because of you doing it on this show. And people are like, oh, that was a satisfying sound. I'm like,
you're welcome.
I'm used to it. I'm used to just being on the call with people who want to like hear that little sound. So anyway, that's a sly-ism that's entered my life.
All right.
I need to disappear for a second because my Bluetooth headphones are cutting in and out, so I need to get the cord. So just enjoy Yelena and Natasha and
earlier,
the rest of this
Marissa got up and passed a plate to Natasha, and it was very entertaining. It was so good. Okay. Let's do... Oh, I'm so excited for this game. This is going to be so fun. Okay. Everybody watching, have you seen the Jimmy Fallon game where you have two stories? One's a truth, one's a lie. You have to tell the story, and then everyone else has to guess whether it's a truth or a lie. That is what
I hadn't. So if you haven't, don't panic. That's what we're doing.
We're going to play a version of that game, but we need everybody's help. We've each come with two stories, and we need everyone in the comments to decide whether we're going to tell story number 1 or story number 2. And then we have, what did I say in the group chat earlier? Do we want to do 1 minute to explain the story?
Just try to keep it short and sweet.
We're going to put the timer back on the screen. Oh, there it is. And maybe I'll do the countdown timer instead of the set timer for. Let's do 4 minutes a person. Do you want to do that?
4 minutes?
5 minutes a person? 3 minutes a person?
That's so long.
Well, it also counts for interrogation. Everyone being able to ask questions to suss out whether it's a truth or a lie. Let's do 4 minutes to tell the story, answer questions from the two co-hosts on screen and everybody in the comments, and we'll see if we can suss out whether the person is lying or telling the truth. Not yet. Stop. Who would like to go first for this game?
Can I volunteer Marissa?
Let's volunteer Marissa. Okay, Marissa, you are going first, my dear. We need everyone in the comments to tell us if Marissa should tell story number 1.
Muted, Marissa.
Or story number 2.
See your mouth moving.
Yeah, no, we can't hear you.
No sound is coming through.
Check your audio settings. All right, people in the comments. Yeah, there you are. Marissa?
Okay, Bunky says 2.
2. Okay.
What?
JJ, 2. All right.
JJ was saying 2.
Marissa?
Me? Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay.
And you're telling story number 2 to us, and we're going to try and guess whether it's a truth or a lie. Are you ready to start the timer?
Oh. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go.
In 8th grade, I spent Halloween on the Great Wall of China.
Who are you there with?
My family. My mom and dad and my brother. And I think like a tour guide person. Yeah, we weren't like, yes. Someone had to like bring us there.
So were you with a tour group, or did you go like with just your family?
No, just my family.
And you like joined a tour once you arrived there.
Mm.
Do you have any photos?
Yeah.
Were you dressed up?
Oh, yeah, 'cause it was
No,
Halloween.
For Halloween.
What did Jack think of it?
No
What did
Halloween
Brother
costumes.
Robissa think of it?
What did he think of it?
Yeah.
Like, of the Great Wall of China?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was a fan. I don't know. I mean, we didn't really like give it a review. I don't really remember.
Why weren't you in school?
Because it was like my parents thought it was like the last chance for us to like see the world before we had like serious school demands in in high school, like
That's
for college prep. So
that's actually valid.
They used
yeah.
Yeah. They
I buy
used
that.
the time that they had.
I'm gonna steal Bunky's question. Was the wall actually all that great?
Honestly, I don't really remember a lot of it. It was taller than I expected, I guess. If I remember correctly. It's very narrow though. It's only like, at least the part where we were, it was only like one person could really walk through at a time. So I guess
true. It is a
yes,
wall.
Such a long time.
It is.
What? 4 minutes is a long time.
Do we want to stop there? Do we feel like we can make a decision? This was in the 8th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 8th grade.
And Alexis wants to know, what number trip was this?
I've only been to China once.
In the 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
This trip. This was the one and only trip.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started telling the story, okay, I need to know what everybody else thinks. So comment if you think Marissa's lying or telling the truth. To me, when you started, I thought it was a lie. But I do feel like now you're telling the truth.
Interesting.
I feel like there's a lot of truth to this. I feel like I would say that Marissa probably went to the Great Wall of China in 8th grade. I don't know if I believe that it was Halloween.
Oh, you think she like flipped?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sneaky. Like she flipped one fact of this. Okay, so maybe the conversation is, do we think it was on Halloween or do we think it was in the 8th grade? Like, was it when she was younger or older? Where's a sneaky like that? I don't know if I buy.
I still haven't heard any actual answers.
JJ said truth.
Truth.
JJ says truth. Okay.
My gut said lie at the beginning, but I'm kind of like, Liz and I are on the same page. I think it was when she was younger. I'm going to say she's telling the truth. And I think she thought of it because Halloween just passed. So the memory would be freshly queued up. Know what I mean?
I'm going to say lie. And then one of us will be right.
Marissa?
Okay. Should I reveal?
We don't have Alexis here to do the...
I know. Very nice. It's a lie.
Oh, damn it.
In 8th grade, I spent Halloween at the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I went to China
correct that
this
part
summer
of it was
between
wrong,
8th and high school. So everybody was a little bit right.
Sly's so right.
Like,
Sly knows you so well. Man, you read that so well. It was just one. I was taking the whole story as a truth or a lie, but no.
Yeah, basically all of the details are true. It just wasn't on Halloween. It was the summer after 8th grade. But I did in 8th grade spend Halloween at the Eiffel Tower because I also went to Europe in 8th grade for the same reason, because we had to get it out of the way before high school. They were work trips that my family like went along with. Yeah. It wasn't like we decided to go to two separate continents in 1 year.
I like it.
It's just we had the option.
Focus worldwide. Yeah. I'm a fan.
And we said we're revealing the other answer afterwards, yeah?
Yeah.
So what's your truth?
Oh, my truth was I fled Canada as a toddler.
Okay, you have to tell this story. What did you do?
Okay. I don't remember exactly how old I was. I think I was probably like 3 or 4. But when I was really little, until I was 10, I lived in Michigan, just over the border from Windsor in Canada. And so a lot of the like fun stuff would happen at the Windsor Convention Center, Windsor Arena, I think is what it was called. Because when you have an arena with hockey games and an arena with concerts, like some of them happen in Michigan, some of them happen in Canada, whatever. So we went to a Wiggles concert in Windsor because it's like 30 minutes from our house. And it was my family and my parents' friends and their kids. And I can't remember who. It was not me. One of the boys in the group, as we were leaving the concert, pulled the fire alarm. And we just left. Drove back across the border, and that's how we fled Canada.
Wow.
Iconic.
But that story is also
and so I thought I was going to tell that story and people would be like, obviously that's a lie.
No,
I was all excited to tell that one.
So I just want to say for the authorities, that was a hypothetical story that was just told.
Oh no, it definitely happened. I can give you the names of the people that were there. But I think the statute of limitations has passed. It was like 20 years ago.
I'm obsessed with this. That's so funny.
What's the statute of limitations on falsely pulling a fire alarm, Alexis?
In a foreign country.
Know in the chat.
I mean, this was a 2-year-old child that was being held by an adult and just reached out and pulled a handle. That's all.
So good. Incredible. Wow. Okay. Well, we've learned a lot about you this evening, including you lie about where you go on vacation and you're not to be trusted in Canadian arenas around fire alarms, specifically from the ages of 1 to 5. Now,
never been back to a Canadian arena, so
who's to say? We'll find out in future events.
They're safe for me for now. And it wasn't me. It was just somebody that was with us. It was another kid.
So you are to be trusted. You are to be trusted. We can trust you. Yeah.
No, I'm trustworthy.
Just not your compatriots.
Except when I lie.
All right. I want to go next. I think this game is super fun.
Amazing.
So the chat can decide whether I tell story number 1 or story number 2. I also really appreciate that we had these hidden from each other all day. I still am not reading the show doc, so I don't know what Sly's 2 options are. I didn't know either of Marissa's, so this is great.
It's very exciting. We did black out all of the answers, and Alexis did comment, it's giving secret agent energy, so that was fun.
Okay, Bucky is proposing an, how do you say this, amendment to the game? Pitching each story before we question.
I thought the point was you pick one.
Yeah, I think we can only say one, or else you might be able to easily suss out which of the 2 could be a lie. Number 2? Number 2?
I think Marissa also did number 2. Can I veto? I
did number 2.
Oh, Liz should do number 1.
Liz should do number 1. Switch it up, number 1.
Switch it up, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, we're ignoring the recommendation, and we're going with number 1. I didn't remember which was which. Okay, let me start the timer. Hold on. We'll go to 1.5 minutes again. Okay, I auditioned for Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader, the Canadian version of the show.
All right.
When you were in 5th grade, or like when you were an adult?
Okay, 1. Oh no, I guess you could audition as an adult to like compete again. I was like, how could you audition? But no. This is when I was going into the 5th grade. That's so funny.
Okay.
I was like, you can't, obviously they need people to compete against the 5th graders. Yes, this was when I was
How far did you get?
5th grade. Not far. They did like an open call in Halifax. So I went to like the open call in Halifax. They did one in like every like major Canadian city. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a whole thing.
Did you have to like answer like trivia questions, or did they just like chat to you?
There was a chat, and then they had to chat with everyone, and then there was like a little test that you did, and then that was it.
Who was the host?
Of the auditions, like just a random person that works on the show. Like the host wasn't. This was an audition to be one of the kids, one of the 5th grade. Had anyone seen the show before? Like it's a cast of 5th graders, right? So it was an audition to be in the cast of 5th graders that would film the show. So the actual host of the show was not at this thing. It was just like the random casting team.
Did they ever make the Canadian version?
They did. It did not last very long, like most Canadian television, but there was like a few seasons. This would have been, I don't know what year I was in 5th grade, maybe 2007 or 2008 to 2010, maybe like that kind of era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
audition for like the first season?
Yeah, this was the first season of the show. Okay. That's why they did the open calls.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say, Slide?
I asked, was it a screen test or was it just the chat and test?
No, this was to find kids smart enough to go on to actually be in the potential to be on the show. So I went to like the open call audition and was not asked to do anything further. We never heard back from them.
Here's the thing. I feel like I've heard this story from Liz before, is the problem. I feel like when we talked about when Alexis was on the Nickelodeon show, that Liz mentioned that she auditioned for.
Liz, how old are your siblings?
1 year older than me and 7 years younger than me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know how.
I'm pretty sure it was not Liz. It's Liz's sister.
Oh, that's Teak. She is smarter than me. She absolutely is smarter than me. No, she did not, because they were looking for 5th graders, and I was going into the 5th grade. She was a year older than me. She was going into 6th grade. Ineligible.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to let you know, to give you that context before you make your decision.
I'm saying true. I feel like I've heard this story before.
I want to believe it, but I don't.
You don't?
What if it's Marcus's story?
Bucky also votes this as a lie, or as a misdirect. Alexis says, I don't remember that, and that's why I think she's lying.
No, I don't remember it either.
When we had that hunt to find the video of Alexis, I feel like Liz mentioned it. But again, Marissa, if you say lie and I say truth, one of us will be right.
All right, let's stick to it. I say it's a lie.
Can I get a rumble? It is a lie.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But it is true that they had open calls the year that I was going into 5th grade, and I wanted to go audition, and I was not allowed. I did not get to, but they did do the open calls. Yeah. And it is true that if I had auditioned, I would not have been put through to any further rounds because I was not smart enough to be on that show. They were looking for super geniuses, which I was not. I just wanted to be on TV. So
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad casting, though. That's not how the show is supposed to go. It's supposed to be regular
average
5th
graders. Oh, no, they were casting like little super genius 5th graders. Like those kids were smart as heck. Yeah.
Well, that's not correct. Or maybe I'm just really smart because I've known the answer to every question every time I've watched Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? So
okay, Marissa, we get it. You would have made it
because
the
the point of the show is not that the questions are harder than 5th grade. They're supposed to be like regular 5th grade curriculum questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm mad at the casting of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader Canada now?
My favorite part of this is the fact that I forgot that I could have also said I auditioned for the show, like, as an adult. Like, that's something that I also could have said. And the fact that I didn't think of that in the entirety of this live, I was like, what? Oh, yeah. Contestants. True. They are needed. My other story, which was the truth, was that I was on Much Music twice in the 9th grade, which is a true story. This is like Canada MTV, for those of you that might not know. They did these lip sync challenges where they would ask you to send in a video of you like lip syncing a popular song, and then they would like do a cut of everyone's videos. So my friends and I had already previously made a lip sync video to a One Direction song. So we spammed them that video on Twitter so they would put it in. And then they did another challenge like the next month to I Knew You Were Trouble. And we sent in a video for that. And it was very exciting to see there was like an app that was like Karaoke Star or something, or like, I don't know what, it was like TikTok before TikTok existed. And we would like film them on that together at someone's house and like send them in. We thought we were so cool. And now I don't know where the footage lives. So that's fun.
That's so
fun. Were they just like ad break clips or like
no, they would end, it was the end of the show. They'd be like, and now we're gonna like play blah blah blah. And it was like as the credits were rolling, they would play these like lip sync videos. Yeah. We thought it was awesome. And it was like all filmed on an iPhone 4, right? It was filmed on like an iPhone 3. Like the quality was not good. Yeah. Sly, it is time for you to share one of your 2 stories. 1 or 2 for Sly. We've done 2 and we've done 1. So
don't ask them.
It's really a toss-up.
No, I was don't let them choose. Everybody watching, to Bunky specifically, since Bunky's being our most active commenter. Bunky, we love you despite what anyone else says.
Wow.
Some shady tea. Bunky, we're so glad you're here commenting every day. Okay.
Bunky says number 2.
Bunky out here advocating for option 2. Like, are you in cahoots with number 2? Sly, would you like to share your second story with the class?
All right. Yes. So my second option is I once broke down a wall in my high school and discovered a secret room.
Okay, my high school also had a secret room, so I'm going to say this is the truth because that happened to me too. Well, to a group of people I went to high school with. Marissa, do you have any actual questions to ask Sly?
No, I feel like I know a lot about Sly's high school experience. So
you do.
Okay, what time of day? What day of the week? How did this happen?
What day of the week? Was
it like an extracurricular on a Saturday? Like,
no, it was a school day. It was after school before theater rehearsal, which means it would have been spring term.
Okay. What was in the room?
What was in the room? A pile of surplus like school desks that were all broken and like rusting.
Yep.
Why
my school had this room too, and it was
my
in
school
the
had
drama department,
and it was in us too, exactly, off the drama department behind the tech wall. We had. So was there graffiti in the room? Like, had other people previously found it, or was it like a moment in time?
The wall was walled. I broke the wall and made it possible to access this room.
Oh, so you were like the first.
How did you break the wall?
It was like drywall nailed into a beam, and I pushed it out, and the entire sheet came off of the wall.
Wow.
Why would you do that? Was it impulsive, or was someone like, Sly, can you go push that? And then you did it.
We had heard a story that you were able to access the storage room by going under the stage in the theater and being able to access the closet storage room for the band gear. And so we found a hole, and we thought this is where the person who had previously done it had gone through, so I was underneath the stage of my theater, and I pushed this wall, and it just completely fell off the wall.
This is 100% true. This is 100% true. It has to be.
I have one follow-up question.
Sure.
Yeah.
What was the aftermath?
I have no idea. Nothing ever happened. The only other way you could access this room was the wall that was inside of this storage room, and there was a door to a square safe style door to the basement computer room, and that's the only way you could ever enter this room after the remodels.
So no adult ever noticed?
No, but if they did, they didn't say anything.
Okay. No, this is definitely true because my school also had the exact same room under the theater.
To this day, I have beef with Marcus because Marcus has been in said room and I have not. I only know it exists and that people found their way in and out of it, but I never did.
I wouldn't go any further.
There were can you confirm if this is a lie or the truth so we can continue talking about it?
Before I do that, can I read my second story and then I'll tell you which one's the lie, which one's the truth? My story number 1 is, in college, I got arrested for getting high in Lithia Park at 4 a.m.
That also could be true.
That also could be true.
It's the 4 a.m. part where I'm like, well, yeah.
What if
it's Oregon? No.
What if the drama story is false because somebody else did it and Sly didn't do it? I think I think I got it. Okay, I think it's a lie. I think it absolutely
happened. The 4 a.m. part I could see for trespassing. It wasn't the being high part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I think
who cares?
In Oregon, you have to be 21.
Yeah.
I think the
first
I forget
that there are young people. Wow. Right?
I forget that young people.
I believe both of them 100%.
Okay, I think the first one is now a lie, and the first story that you said is a lie. Somebody else did it. You did not do it. Maybe you were there to witness it.
Yeah, I think it's just the lack of follow through of the lack of understanding of the aftermath.
Well, to be fair,
my tech director would have known if we knocked a wall down.
Yeah, but some of us went to rural schools with the rural drama departments where they'd be like, listen, the wall is the least of our concerns.
Bunky, listen, I told you I needed to be drunk for this game.
All right, Sly, please reveal which story is a truth and which story is a lie.
All right. Freshman year of college. It was winter term. A group of friends and I walked to Lithia Park starting around 3 a.m. Hung out in Lithia Park for a very long time, and then were kicked out of Lithia Park around 4 a.m. by a police officer, after which we walked over to the green stage at OSF and, while high, played music and danced on the stage. We did not get arrested, but we did get kicked out. And then we walked back and returned to the dorms around 5:30 a.m.
I thought you were going to tell me these stories happened on the same night.
No.
I was like, and then you went back to your high school? I was like, what?
Junior year of high school, we heard the story about a former student that he once was about to get in trouble for being in the band room when he wasn't supposed to. And so he entered the theater from the connecting doors to the band room, went under the stage, and escaped through the storage room that was built underneath the stage. That apparently was a lie. We got the real story from him later that apparently he just hid under the stage until they left and then exited it. I was with 2 other people. I was with Vance and Kylan, but I was the one who shoved the wall. So number 1 was a lie and number 2 was the truth. I tried to pick 2 things that were both very realistic.
Yeah.
So Marissa,
I really like, my heart is so warm to know that we all had secret rooms with old school desks.
I know.
School theaters.
How is that a trend? What happened to all of the theater departments in like the 80s that they all ended up with secret rooms that would be discovered 20 years later?
I mean,
I still have
Sly.
I still have a little tiny scar in the center of my knee because after pushing out this wall and jumping down into this room, I did apparently stab a nail directly into my kneecap and was bleeding right before theater rehearsal. So yeah.
Sly.
It was fine.
And no adult ever interfered.
Is that Sly's bleeding out? Shall we do warm up?
That was basically how it went.
How much time did you have before rehearsal?
30 minutes.
It doesn't take that long to discover a secret room.
No,
we started 10 minutes after.
Yeah,
we started 10 minutes after dismissal.
Oh, wow.
So how my school worked was final bell was at 2:20 and then all after school activities started at 3 p.m.
Yeah, that was the same as us.
Final bell was at 2:50 and after school activities started.
You went to an intense school, okay? We got it. You went to a highly funded, lovely program.
Well, that gave us time to
lovely is questionable, but intense.
Grab food, change out, get there, and most activities expected you to be there by 45, and then we do like warm ups and then start rehearsal at 3 or whatever.
Newsflash: Bucky also had a secret room in their theater department. This is incredible. How many people? What is the Venn diagram of high schools that have secret rooms in their theater departments and subscribers of We'll Throw the After Party? Because currently it's a circle.
It has to be a circle.
I'm so glad we've all found each other at this later stage in life. It's well, maybe it's something to unpack in therapy. What have we been enjoying this week? Sly, you said you wanted to have a chaotic go around of what we've been enjoying this week. So perhaps we can just randomly pick from the list that we've made. We have 4 categories for everyone this evening. What we've been playing, reading, watching, and listening to that we've been enjoying this week. And there's a lot. Sly, I'll let you get the ball rolling.
All right. Well, I need Liz to explain to me what the hell she thought I meant when I said I've been playing Marvel Snap.
So I did not read any of the subsections and was just going through the doc and saw what I'd been enjoying, Sly, Marvel Snap. And I literally thought Sly meant like Infinity War
the Snap.
And I think my brain went there because on TikTok right now, there's a bunch of videos talking about how the timing of the snap to our real world calendar is like aligning. So I was like, Sly, what are you on about over there? You're enjoying this?
I have been playing the deck builder card game. It's a mobile app called Marvel Snap. This is the little...
Looks cool.
Focus. I did talk about it extensively on Point in Progress last night if you want more technical discussion. But yeah, it's great. I'm having a blast. I did finish all of the symbiote invasion challenges today. And so that was really cool. I got all 5 chapters done. I have been really enjoying the card upgrade collector system in this game. So my collector rank is 460. I have the highest collector rank out of all of PIP. Woo! I'm not the highest ranked, but I have the highst collector rank. Hey, so there's that.
That's a win. That's a win.
I love card games. I love deck builders, and I counted last night. I have built 10 decks in this game. So I've been jumping around for cycling through a few different play styles based on my mood. But yeah, if you're playing Marvel Snap, hit me up. You can't do like tournament PvP. It is all PvP, but you can't like choose who you're playing against yet. But when that happens, I'm very excited to do some tournaments with all of the lovely people who are playing. I know Vic, friend of the show, Victoria Organa, has been playing. So we chatted a little bit about it. But yeah, it's been really fun.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that's what that means. That seems like a really fun time. I love it. I would like to be chaotic next. Marissa.
Yeah.
Spotlighting you. You said under the header of what you've been enjoying reading, certain fics of certain ships that I may or may not reveal in public. Of which it was commented, if you don't fill out the goddamn spreadsheet, I swear to God, which is a comment from Sly. By the way, all these comments were commented from our show account, We'll Throw the After Party, so everyone has to end their comments with their name or initial so we know who left what comment. And then Marissa, I assume, because no one signed off on this comment, but it must be Marissa.
I forgot I was on the show account.
Said, I have a lot of fic-related stuff to unpack, okay? And then it was marked as resolved. And then it was reopened.
I wanted other people to see Sly calling me out.
And then it said, hear me out. I have the perfect opportunity to work out these feelings. Work through thinking these feelings by picking one fic to recommend and then putting it on the spreadsheet. So first, I feel like before we get there, if you've missed the conversation around this spreadsheet, Sly, can you explain very briefly what this infamous fanfic spreadsheet is?
There is a podcast I've mentioned a million times, The Fic List, where they treat fanfiction as a book club and they go via tag. So they choose a specific tag and they pick a fic and then they read it book club style. I listened to all of this podcast, every single episode. I was like, I have a fic for this. I'm going to make a spreadsheet. And then Alexis was like, I also want to make a spreadsheet. And I was like, hear me out. We'll throw the after party spreadsheet so we can have all the hosts. And so I filled it out. And then Alexis filled it out. And then we both listened to filling out and she filled it out. But Marissa's slot has remained empty throughout this entire process. And I've been wanting to find a way to approach Marissa about this. And the opportunity was handed to me on a silver platter via this comment in the show doc. So I took the opportunity.
I just love the part where it said marked as resolved and then reopened. I'm like, that is exactly how we deal with conflict in this friend group. It's so good. So Marissa, please reveal certain fics of certain ships that you may or may not reveal in public.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say I feel like I have a very different relationship to fan fiction than other hosts on this show, because I will read a fan fiction, process none of the relevant information of it and move on forever and think oh, I really liked reading that. That's the one where this person does that thing, and then try and find it again. But have no actual information to find it. I don't know authors' names. I don't know titles. I don't know word count. I don't retain that information. I'm just yeah, that's the one where Bucky has a dog. That's it. Yeah. So asking me to fill out a spreadsheet is actually a lot of work.
There's a lot of backtracking that's to go into the process. Yeah, I that's fine. We can get behind that.
But basically, I've been reading a lot of fan fiction about Bucky Barnes and other people who are Captain America. That's it.
I love that.
That's all I want to say about it.
If it'll make you feel better, I will out my shameful fanfiction habits of this week because I also don't want to talk about this. But I did put it in the doc, so I have to.
New show segment. New show segment. Shame of the week.
Shame of the week. I have been reading fanfic. I have been hyperfixating lately on a piece of media that I know is not great. And I went in
I don't know what
knowing
I tried to Google this collection of letters. I couldn't figure it out.
Okay. So the collection of letters is AFTG. It stands for All for the Game, which is a series. We don't talk about the author. If you have not read this, don't. Just don't.
Great. Consider it done. I'm very happy with that directive. I love being told not to do something.
Yeah, I saw a video before I started it because I was like, I want something like gay and like really angsty. And it's gay and really angsty. And I saw a video before I read it that was like, if you haven't read it, don't. But if you have, you understand why people who have read it are obsessed with it. And that's a pretty good summary. It is bad. There is some, not great content in this. And it's so funny to me because I read it and I went, wow, this author is not really a great person. And then I started reading fics, and on one of them, there was like a disclaimer about like, we don't like support the beliefs of the author. And somebody in the comments was like surprised that the author wasn't a great person. I'm like, did you read the series? But anyways, I've been reading All for the Game fanfic. It's an experience. I have been reading both Andriel and Candriel fic, and I don't typically read poly ships, so that's been an experience. And the note I put in the doc about this was, yes, I hate myself. It's fine. And that's all I want to say about that. If you have access to my bookmarks, just ignore all of them.
If you have access to my bookmarks, don't.
No one has access to my bookmarks. They're all private.
I don't believe in private bookmarks. All of my bookmarks are public. If you go looking, you'll find them. What I'm saying is, if you're going through my bookmarks and you see the All for the Game fics, just ignore them. They're just for me. You don't need to read them. It's fine.
I think you need to start tagging stuff in your bookmarks with, this is just for me, not you.
Yeah.
This is not for you. Like,
Alexis is having a breakdown in the comments, and I need to know why.
I don't know what you said.
This is a really dramatic pause.
It is. We're really waiting for this last comment here.
It's probably about the fact that I'm reading a poly ship because Alexis knows how I feel.
Oh, I want to backtrack and just clarify that what I said was not intended to sound like I was reading poly ships, because I don't either. It's two separate ships of people who happen to be Captain America.
I absolutely heard that as you were reading Bucky, Captain America, America. That's absolutely what I heard.
Me too.
No, I'm non-discriminate between the Captain Americas. That's it.
It could be Sam Wilson or Steve Rogers. Yeah, I respect it.
That's it.
The only time I have ever read a poly ship is when Alexis has sent it to me. Except for this past week. So it is...
We cannot go down this rabbit hole. We're not going down this rabbit hole. I'm taking the mic and moving on because it's still about fanfic. For Halloween / you know what it's like when all of a sudden you find yourself neck deep in a Twilight marathon and you don't know how you got there? That was me this week. And it lined up perfectly with Halloween. So I just took it as my Halloween seasonal autumn Twilight binge watch, hence the background for the evening. And I haven't done a Twilight binge watch in a minute. And I have a friend who is extremely into Twilight. So when I was chatting with him this week, I was like, bestie, I am back in the Twilight trenches. And I said, do you read fanfic? And he was like, no, but he was rereading Midnight Sun and not like only half enjoyed it. And I was like, well, you need to read fan fiction. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, let me introduce you. Like, I was like, tell me the things you like about Twilight, and I'm going to find you fan fictions just about those things. And he was like, what? And I was like, your world's about to change forever. Imagine if Twilight was never over. That's what AO3 can do for you. So this is a call out to the whole community. Send me Twilight fanfic recs. Any. The door is open. Put them in my inbox. We are compiling a list to send to this friend to introduce them to the fanfic world. So I will very happily take all the recs. We're finding many. I'm learning a lot about the Twilight fandom through AO3. I did not realize that Bella and Rosalie was one of the main ships in this community, but the amount of Bella Rosalie fanfic that exists is incredible. There's a startling amount of Vulturi Bella fanfiction, like a startling amount, but also I'm not surprised. This comes from the girl that reads Draco Malfoy, Hermione Granger fanfiction. So like I get it. The enemies to lovers thing. Like I see where they're coming from with that. But yeah, I've been in the Twilight trenches online this week, which I don't think I've been in the Twilight trenches since like Tumblr was a thing. So that's been interesting.
Wow. You say as if Tumblr's not still a thing.
Well, I'm not in the Tumblr trenches anymore. I left Tumblr when it stopped being in that peak 2010 era, you know? But yeah, absolutely, you're correct. And also, I wanted to ask the group, I don't know if we've ever discussed if we were Team Edward or Team Jacob, but I feel like that's like vital friendship information that I don't have for y'all. So are you / were you? No, let's just backtrack. Where were you during the Twilight phase of life? Were you in the trenches of Twilight? Were you peripheral? Were you...
It is a Tumblr national holiday today.
It's a supernatural national holiday.
It's a big day.
A Tumblr holiday. It's great. I've been enjoying seeing all of the Tumblr memes on Twitter all day.
Me too.
Twilight. Here's the thing. I read Twilight in 5th grade over the course of 4 days, maybe 5 days. I hated every minute of it, and I only did it because I was tired of not knowing what the fuck everybody was talking about.
Valid.
I hated every minute of it. I'm not Team Edward. I am not Team Jacob. Both of them are horrible people, and I did not enjoy them.
Valid.
I've never seen.
You're not wrong.
We're Team Alice in this household. Like,
preach.
Marissa?
I was in the trenches. I was deep in the trenches.
Give it to me. What team were you on? Where did you fall?
I always have been, always will be, ride or die, Team Edward, except that he does suck. They all suck.
They all
like
suck.
Literally every character sucks.
Yeah.
But no, yes, Team Edward, day one. I saw, I think it was New Moon 4 times in theaters.
Beautiful.
It's the movie I've seen the most in theaters. Also
Beautiful.
saw Eclipse 3 times in theaters. I was not allowed to read Breaking Dawn, so I read my roommate's copy at summer camp without my parents knowing. Like, I was in the trenches. And then I had like 360 donated all of my copies of the books, and I regret that. Because, like, I think it would be fun to hate read them again.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, this is horrendous, and I thought this was literature. But that's me and Twilight.
I don't know if I ever fully read Breaking Dawn. Because I also didn't enjoy the books. Like, when the movies were coming out, we had the books. I read Twilight. I read New Moon. I really was not a fan of the Vulturi situation. That really like freaked me out. Like, I was like, and like the movies, like like the whole ripping the heads off thing. Like I really didn't do well with that. Like, that was like nightmare fuel for me. I had very low scary tolerance as a kid. Like, didn't work for me. Yeah. So also like rewatching them in high school and university, like these days, it's like, this was the first time I felt like I could actually like watch the whole thing with a fresh set of eyes, because it's just been so long. And I was like, oh yeah, no wonder I was scared shitless. Like, they really were like awful like they didn't play around with how they like set people on fire. Like they really said that.
I did a Twilight rewatch probably like a year ago now, year and a half ago maybe. And I maintain, now having watched it later in life, that the first Twilight movie is shot like a horror movie. Like,
absolutely.
If you watch it through the lens of this is a horror movie, it's kind of a really great movie. Like, Catherine Hardwicke was like, this is not a love story, and I'm not making it like a love story. No. Whereas they like did a
180
360 on that one.
Yep.
180, yeah. So the first one is like actually kind of a good movie, but yeah.
I'm also a believer in like, if you can get into the memes of Twilight, like especially on TikTok right now, like Twilight meme TikTok is so good, then the movies are more enjoyable to watch, because there were so many moments that I was like giggling and having a silly goofy time because I was remembering things on TikTok. You know?
Yeah. You have to like understand that they are objectively terrible. Like that's why it's fun.
And Liz called me out for knowing a single Twilight meme.
Oh, so
I made
good.
The thumbnail this week.
It was so good. If you haven't seen the thumbnail, at the end of the show, it'll come back up. Make sure you take a look. It's so good. It's so good. So that's enough Twilight. Send me your Twilight fanfic recs, or if you're like on A03 looking for a way to pass the time, spend some time yourself going down the Twilight rabbit hole. I would love to see what you find. Send them to me.
What else did you watch this week, Elizabeth?
Well, you know it's that time of year where Liz gets out the spreadsheets and it's all analytics all the time. For a few Christmases now, I have been tracking all of like the Hallmark. In Canada, we play them on a channel called the W channel. So like the W channel Christmas movies. It's a different release schedule than what America has with their Hallmark schedule. But basically, starting 2 weekends ago, every Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, all day, all night until Sunday at 9 p.m., it's Christmas movies, back to back, Hallmark movies, back to back. So we just put the TV on, and I have a spreadsheet where I rate them as we watch. So we have a full backlog. And if a movie comes on that we've seen before, we update our ratings year over year. So we're back in the Hallmark movie trenches. It's my favorite time of year. If you have me on Be Real, you often see me posting like the movie with my popcorn bowl that my incredible mother-in-law got us. That's like the official Hallmark movie popcorn bowl or whatever it is. It's and I only use it this time of year. Like it is a precious item. We received it last year, and I was like, it has to sit and wait until we can use it again. So it's a very fantastic time for horrible movies that are deeply rooted in values that you may or may not believe in anymore, but it's fun to try and predict the plot and see the horrible choices people will make for the sake of small town love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very fun. And it's also great worms for brains food if you are needing to just think about anything, but not think too hard. Mm-hmm. Great use of time.
Shout out to the But Make It Scary episode that released last week, where they turned Carrie into a Hallmark movie.
So good.
Very good.
So good. There's an app that you can track this in. I need to look at this. Does anyone have the blue filter keychain? What is that?
The blue filter from the first Twilight movie.
Oh!
I don't have it. I've seen it before. I have too many things on my keychain, but I would if I could.
Wait, I don't know what this is. Is it literal?
It is literally like a piece of like acrylic that's tinted blue that like you put up to your eye, and then everything looks like it's the Twilight movie.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's a TikTok filter that's doing that. Remember when people were, I even posted one of those videos, and it's like, are you like Twilight, Pretty Little Liars, like whatever the options were? Yeah. See, the problem is every year I get excited for these new Hallmark movies coming out, but we don't get them released when America does. Everyone gets all excited about the new Chad Michael Murray like Hallmark movie that's coming out. We might not get it until the next year. Like we might not get it until January, and by January we're already in Valentine's Day movies. It's very stressful. So
that's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Anywho, so I've been doing Hallmark movie marathons. That's what I'll be doing for the foreseeable future. And watching every single vlog on YouTube about what to do in Disney World for one day. So if you have tips, be in my inbox. We need to have a conversation about My Policeman.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Sly. You have not seen My Policeman yet. Do you mind if here? I'm gonna put the timer up. Let me put the timer up. Hold on. We don't need 4 minutes. Let's do how long do we need, Marissa? 3 minutes? 2 minutes?
I don't need that long.
Okay, let's do a 2-minute My Policeman scream. How's that sound?
I'm just gonna...
Yeah, I don't blame you, Bestie. All right. My Policeman. It's out on Amazon Prime. Marissa, what did you think?
It was fine.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm glad I watched it. It was fine. Really, it was just...
Can I make us bigger? Oh, no. Where are you? Where are you? What happened to our... Okay, I really screwed this up. Okay, never mind. You watched it yesterday?
I watched it yesterday.
Where were your expectations for it?
Where were my expectations for it? I think my expectations were a little bit higher than the reality. So I'm still trying to like parse out how I really feel about it, because there were parts of it that I really, really enjoyed. And there were parts of it where I was like, fast forward. So I don't know. I don't think it's a movie that I'm going to go back to a lot, but I'm glad that I watched it. Like that's the thing that I think that I can say for sure is like, I'm glad I watched it. What about you?
Well, I was deep in the trenches for this movie, as everybody knows, and I was deep in the critical reception of this movie. And I think that it's been fairly assessed. I think that everyone is bad beside Emma. She's one of the best talents of our like generation, in my opinion. So anybody acting beside Emma is going to look a little lackluster. But I think people are also being harsher on Harry than they should be. He's not a fantastic actor, and he had fantastic moments in this film.
He had really good moments.
He had really fabulous moments, and he did hold his ground in a different way than I think we would have expected in this movie, because he brought an insecurity. I'm going to ignore this timer and keep going for a minute here. He brought an insecurity to this film and an amateur energy that I think Tom needs.
I didn't get it at the beginning. At the beginning, I was like, he seems uncomfortable. But it was an intentional discomfort that I got eventually. Like, so like in that way, I was impressed, but like it was hard to get into, I think. It was a slow start. But like once it got there, it stayed there pretty well.
Something that I loved about the film is that the cast talked a lot about how there were initial conversations around how do the older versions of these characters map to the younger versions of the characters. And then the final direction was, you're not the same person in your elderly stage of life as you were in your 20s. So don't try and map your performance to what Harry's done or David's done or Emma's done. Be this version of this person now. So watching it with that lens, there's a lot of people that are like, well, I didn't see the connection between the characters, and I didn't like, it felt like a disconnected plot. But they didn't want you to feel like you were watching like this person portray David or this person portray Harry. Like they were meant to be different people. So that really helped me enjoy it also, because I went into it feeling like I was watching two casts of characters as opposed to trying to map mannerisms or tones or whatever from person to person.
Yeah. So I was also just like, I spent a lot of the movie like very impressed with the casting because they look like identical, all of them.
Oh yeah, I thought it was
They would do like a plate match between like Emma and I believe her name is Gina.
We can Google it.
They do like a plate match on them, and I'd be like, they have the same face. That's exactly what Emma's gonna look like when they're older. Oh my god.
It is Gina McKee. Yep.
Yeah. So
if you haven't seen this movie, go into it with an open mind. Yeah. Don't expect an Oscar-winning performance from Harry Styles, but I do think that they were right to say this movie is Oscar baity, because I think that it does deserve the accolades. And I think in a softer awards year, when we didn't have as many hard hitters, you may have actually seen this one become a sneaky filler. But unfortunately, this year is going to be intense all around for award season. The playing field is so wide. It was a year of hit after hit after hit after hit. So there's no room for anything that is not 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. And this is not that. So I think any other year, Amazon might actually see a couple noms for this one, but not this year.
Also, just like to borrow a phrase from Mr. Styles, it's not really a movie that feels like a movie. Like I did not miss anything watching it on my computer. So which is like not the strongest argument for an Oscar bait film, but
absolutely.
Okay.
Sly, would you like to return?
Sly's been outcast for too long.
So that's my policeman rant. I am happy that this film is out there. Like, I feel like we've been talking about cinema, Harry Styles, for like so long, and now it's like all of the work is there.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. We did it. We made it through. Now it's there for people to evaluate and enjoy. And I do think we can call Harry Styles an actor, which is something that before these movies came out, that was still in debate for me. Can we call Harry Styles an actor? But we can.
I don't know yet. I haven't seen Don't Worry, Darling, so I don't have all the facts yet.
Yeah.
I'll report back.
On that note, I'm going to take over.
Hell yeah.
with my pal here. Young Royals is ruining my life. Season 2 is ruining my life. It's very good. I got almost every single thing that it was on my wish list for season 2, and I was not expecting to get. I was expecting maybe 1. I got 3 out of 4. Pretty good for me. I wish there was more Malin, but I got 3 whole episodes with her face appearing at least once. I'll take it. But yeah, season 2 is great. Go watch it. If you haven't watched it, it's gay. It's sad. Look at the content warnings before you watch. There's a lot. But anyways, I'm also going to use this to talk about what I've been listening to, which I will bring everybody back for, because Liz keeps leaving.
You got it. We got it.
Yeah, so I made a playlist, and
can we just get a round of tacos right off the bat? I love when Sly makes a playlist. It's one of my favorite things.
I'm never super confident about my playlists, so
I'm always confident in your playlist. I just want that. I always go to Liz known.
For validation, and I made a playlist. It tracks from right before episode 1 of season 1 all the way to directly before episode 1 of season 2. So there's no season 2 on this playlist, but I think it's finally reached its final form. I'm not gonna make any more edits to it.
All right.
It's exactly 40 songs.
Wow.
It is on Apple Music and Spotify. If you search @SlyClone on both, you should find it. It's All the People Are Fake, but I Like You, and that's not fake. The screenshot is fan art of Simon wearing Willie's Ralph Lauren sweater and them cuddling. It's so
good.
Cute. Anyways, but yeah, I made a playlist, and it's the emotional beats of season 1. Some of the music is ripped directly from the show in the place that it falls in the storyline. Some of it is ripped from the show and repurposed.
Brilliant.
Samurai Swords is in canon used at the end of episode 5. I use it to mark the end of episode 6, and so everything after that is the winter break angst and yearning. And then Revolution, of course, is the last song.
I will say, you have done such a fabulous job marketing this show to me specifically. Like, every single thing you have said about this show has made me want to watch it, and you continually raise the bar. Like, I'm obsessed. I need to watch this immediately.
So the thing
I haven't watched the show. I've watched a clip package.
Great.
Of Wilhelm and Simon, and that made me sad, so now I don't want to watch the show.
It's very sad.
Yeah,
it's
it's
delicious.
Not my thing.
I will say it was on my Netflix watch list for like what feels like a year, and I finally watched it about a month ago. So I was super late, and I thought I was like the last person to like finally sit down and watch this, but everybody I've mentioned it to the past month has not seen it. So if you haven't seen it, season 2 just came out. Like, it's the perfect time.
Great time.
You don't have to wait after the heart wrench that is season 1 episode 6.
I
will say how I'm feeling after season 2 episode 6 is awful, and the people who had to wait a whole year in between seasons 1 and 2, like, I commend you, because this shit is so painful. Not knowing if we're getting a season 3 based on the press that they are doing, I feel like a season 3 is coming. Just the way they're reacting.
Can't trust Netflix. They
the
keep
way the actors
shit.
are reacting every time somebody tries to ask them about it has been very interesting, because they haven't said anything, and they often, every single time, it's them being like, no comment, in a way that is like. Also, somebody said you can Airbnb book the castle that is the school, and it is booked out for next year.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about a season 3. I don't know if we'll get any more than 3 seasons, but I think we need at least one more just to finish the whole year.
Well, that's why fanfic exists in the meantime. People are going to get on it. They're going to start writing season 3 themselves.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, speaking of making playlists, I just want to do a quick plug of what I've been listening to, which is the producer Liz pantheon of playlists available to you on Spotify, and thanks to Sly, Apple Music.
Some of them are on my Apple Music, not all of them. But a good chunk.
If you joined us for our Midnight's listening party like 2 weeks ago, it slowly dissolved into me forcing Liz to make a Wanda Maximoff Taylor Swift playlist, which we did collectively on live. And then the next day, I just got dropped a link to a Yelena Taylor Swift playlist that I was not expecting and not emotionally prepared for. So I've been listening to both of those. If you know how I feel about Bucky Barnes' Mirror Ball, these have become my new problem. The Yelena playlist is 4 hours long.
It is.
They're all linked in my link tree if you want to listen to them.
The Yelena playlist is also a little bit more fun.
The Yelena playlist is so good.
It's more fun than the others. So if you do need a break from Bucky Barnes' A Mirror Ball, I do recommend venturing down the Yelena rabbit hole, because there's some good bop mixes happening within that. And then there's also some horrifying shit when Natasha dies, but it's good.
If you want them on Apple Music, I have currently remade Bucky Barnes' A Mirror Ball. I had a little calm. I just went from one fight to another, and I made the Wanda gave so many signs at the same time as Liz was building the setup.
I will say Sly literally deserves a Nobel Prize for converting those playlists to Apple Music, because when I build a playlist, I truly black out. Like, I did not realize they were even good. I just I feel them in my brain and need to make them exist to feel better. And then all of a sudden now Marissa enjoys every playlist I make. So I'm like, well, I'm so happy that me blacking out and reorganizing Taylor's discography is helpful to others.
I think there's just something like really comforting about it all being the same artist. It's like all the same voice throughout. So you just like follow a continuous thread, and it really, I really enjoy it. Thank you very much.
I'm here to serve. I'm so glad that they are helpful. I will say the Wanda one is the most thought I ever put in. The Yelena one was me being like, oh yes, let's figure this out. And I had it done in like all of 3 minutes.
So good.
So yeah, I'm so happy you're enjoying it. I know that it was a shock to the system when I posted it. People were like, how dare you? And I was like, you're welcome. Yeah. Enjoy. So yeah, you can find me at Producer Liz on Spotify, and I'm just gonna make sure they're all there still. But yeah, they're all there. And if you want them on Apple Music, you gotta talk to Sly, because I don't do Apple Music. I don't know how to do that. So I'm like an old person that refuses to learn new technology. Like, I'm good with Spotify. It's fine. Shall we? I know that there's a lot more in this, but I feel like
I want to know very quickly what y'all have been playing, because Marissa, I had full faith that you had an answer, but you got a little sassy with me in the group in the show doc about what you've been playing. So what have you been playing?
Well, I know that you know that I'm not a video game girly, and for a second I was like, I don't have an answer, but I do have an answer. I am a devoted solitaire player.
I love a solitaire
a solitaire app. I love a solitaire tab open on my Google Chrome. I'm always playing solitaire, and I'm quite good at it.
For you.
So that's what I've been playing, because I'm always playing it.
I'm so pleased to know this about you. That's great. I just added that to the file folder in my mind. My entire extended family has been playing Wordle. So every day I get a little Wordle update in the Facebook group chat that everyone is in about how frustrated they are with the word of the day. And there's a hard no spoil rule in that group chat. So it's also just fun to wake up to like a billion notifications that are just numbers and being like, what? And it's like, oh, everyone played Wordle. Got it. I used to be a devoted Candy Crush girly pop. But I haven't played Candy Crush in a minute because it was taking up so much memory on my phone that I was like, it would be good for me to stop playing this game.
I love that for you.
What? Sorry?
I love that for you.
I was also getting to the point where I was like tempted to start spending real money on it. So I was like, that's when I gotta tap out. I gotta get out of here. So no more Candy Crush. I have been playing a game called Liz Bought a Fireplace and then didn't have a screwdriver or didn't have the right screwdriver, and then took a week to go to Walmart to buy the right screwdriver, only to get home and realize that I should have bought 2 screwdrivers because it actually needed like 2 people each with the screwdriver. But when I read the instructions, I thought 2 people needed 1 screwdriver. I don't know why I would think that. That tells you how often I play this game. And then we started building the fireplace, but it was like many steps. So we have half a fireplace built and we need to continue building the fireplace. But the fireplace is also currently being built where our Christmas tree is going to go up when it's an appropriate time to put up a Christmas tree. So I want to finish the fireplace so I can put up the Christmas tree, or at least figure out where my Christmas tree is. It's a very stressful game and it's currently not done.
You'll win eventually.
Been playing Cats and Soup, which if you haven't played Cats and Soup, it's a fun time. It's also a mobile game. Lots of mobile games in my life recently.
I love that. Sometimes a mobile game is more manageable when you're doing other things in your life than like logging in to play a game somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will also say I'm playing the Build a Fireplace game, so Marissa will stop commenting on my reels asking me to fix my TV stand.
You all don't understand. Liz's TV is currently on a like side table made of wire and glass that is one of those like L-shaped ones where it
slides over your lap. It goes
like this.
Yeah.
It sits like this, and then the TV is where Natasha's head is, and it gives me so much anxiety.
It's like this, and my TV's like this, and it's leaning back on the wall. Marissa, what you also don't know is that there's no glass in the stand. It's just...
Oh, I think I did know that.
It's just the frame. So there's nothing in the middle, but it's... Listen, knock on wood. It's
a great TV, and I'm just concerned for the TV. And also the glass that will inevitably be on your floor.
Yeah, it's a startling situation, but that's why we're playing the Build a Fireplace game to resolve it. It'll be great. So eventually I'll have really aesthetic photos to show everyone. And right now it's not that. It's a lot of parts everywhere. But anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Speaking of games, we have a game for you.
We have a game. It's time for everyone's favorite game, or at least ours, the group chat game, where we're going to show you texts that were sent in the group chat, and you can try and guess who said the text. And the joyous part of this week's game is there's a lot of these, aka all of them, that I don't remember. So Sly's going to have to fill us in, because I think
they're from a while ago.
Yeah.
I went from I looked at the last time we played the group chat game, and then I went into our messages and searched for the first mention of when we tag a text group chat game after that date to current.
A round of tacos.
So
the producer Sly era incoming. Like, it's so good.
The first message is a repeat, and that cannot be in the group chat game, which we have seen before in this game. This week it was from a different person.
The last time it was from me.
Oh, I thought it was from me the first time.
No, last time it was Marissa said, this cannot go in the group chat game.
I think actually what I said was, do not put that in the group chat game.
Sounds about right.
Who did it this time?
Well, the answers are in the doc, so I'm going to stop
looking at the doc. Don't look at the doc.
I'm hiding it. I'm hiding it.
I'm going to minimize the tab.
Okay. I know the answer, so I can't help.
Chat, like the 10-second delay to be able to answer.
To be able to guess. If you're watching, I'm going to say this one is a Liz quote.
Correct. This is a Liz quote.
I have no idea what it was about.
You can look it up in the group chat later, but I'm not going to mention it.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I also don't know what it was about, but next.
The next is, please, I can't do more. Alexis is so old because she's convinced that 5 years is the difference between knowing the details of a long dead president or not. Obviously, this was not from Alexis. So that leaves you 3 other options. Who was offended that Alexis thought there was a 5-year difference makes
I do remember
determines people's memory of old president.
See, I know who sent this one because I know that Sly was mad about other things in the group chat this week about people saying sorry. I know I was mad at things unrelated to the group chat this week, which means Marissa must have been the one that sent this. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and JJ really killing it.
I have a forever, like, instant defense every time Alexis talks about being old. Because she's not. And
yeah. And I also get offended because she assumes that young people don't know things. And it's like, I don't know things because I'm dumb, not because I'm young.
Yeah. This was also that was also about JFK, which, like, Alexis has a deep knowledge of that, like, is beyond the general historical understand. Like, it was not about age.
Next up, I've been having a crisis. Well, several, but this one is solvable.
I do think everyone could have said this.
Yeah.
I
think it was Sly, but I think it also could have been Alexis. But honestly, it could have been Liz.
Well, I will say, I don't think I sent this, but I do agree with it. And I absolutely feel the same. I think Alexis sent this based on the dash, well, several dash, because Alexis is the only one that types like that.
No, I feel like Alexis would send it in multiple messages. I've been having a crisis. Well, several. But this one is solvable. Because she gives me heart palpitations.
Yeah. I'm much more likely to use the dash. Alexis is more likely to send you a sentence in 10 different messages.
Yeah.
But this one,
Sly. JJ says this might have been Alexis. I feel like Alexis said something similar to me.
This is from the one and only just Alexis Blake.
Wow.
Love it. Yeah.
The next one is...
Can I also make a comment that I'm not sure if anyone other than Alexis would have indicated that their crisis was solvable.
Fair enough.
I'm just like, I'm in crisis. And everyone's like, what else is new? Like,
see, and I knew it wasn't me because I only have one crisis at a time.
Ah.
What's that like?
It's just all consuming. It's not better or worse. I just only have a one-track mind.
At least I can bounce around from crisis to crisis and not fixate on one, you know?
Yeah.
Next
was 240 question mark in my sleep. And this was talking about 240,000 words. This one's very obvious to me.
Yeah. Should we say it on 3?
1, 2, 3. Liz.
If a fanfic is less than 10,000 words, Liz won't read it.
I won't read it.
If it's less than 100,000 words, Liz won't.
No. If it's less than 80,000 words, I struggle to read it. If it's between 80 and 100, I'm like, ooh, a cute little afternoon read. If it's between 100 and 200, it's like short term, yes. And if it's over 200, I'm like, top priority.
Everyone knew it was Liz.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a fic, and I don't know who it was because it wasn't any of you. I don't know who it was. Someone sent me a fic semi-recently that was like 4,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, do you know me?
Wow.
Was that the TikTok one that we were talking about? Because I did have to clarify to you. It was very short.
Yes,
Liz sent me a TikTok
about
a fic.
Yes.
I read it. I said it's very good. It's very short, but it's
That's
good.
Exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why I sent it to you, because I was like, see what Sly thinks of it, and then like see if it's worth reading. And it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
The next one is, Alexis, I love how you accuse us of gatekeeping information when I have never heard of this person in my life. Yeah, Alexis does this all the time. She'll be like, how dare you
How dare no one tell me?
Why didn't no one tell me?
Every time I'm like, I have no idea who any of these people are. I have no idea what the situation is. I don't know how you thought I possessed this information and why you thought I was intentionally keeping it from you.
That's the part that gets me. It's like the fact that I would learn something and go, I don't want to let us know about this one. That's like, what? I want to know what she thinks we're doing. Like, I'm going to keep this juicy little piece to myself. Like, no one else gets this news story on CNN. Ooh, just me. I think Sly sent this.
Interesting.
I think I usually just don't respond when Alexis says something like that. I'm just waiting for everyone else to chime in, because I also just have this assumption that because I'm Canadian, maybe it is something common knowledge.
That is true. You never try to answer.
I'm always just like, what do we think as a group?
Listen, I always think this. I'm not the one who said it. Marissa said this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I did hard agree with it, but I was not the one who said it.
No, I am definitely the most blunt when it comes to our group chat.
It's true.
I love it.
I will say that now moving forward, y'all know, when anyone says, have you heard of blank, and I don't respond, it's not because I didn't read the text, because I'm waiting for everybody else. Because I fully think always that I'm just going to miss things because I'm not in America. So.
Fair.
Yeah.
Next. Thank you all for your training. I am now ready to fanfic the hell out of this flight. 2 of us recently flew. I wonder who this could be.
I don't think it was me.
It was me. Okay.
I did read fanfic my whole flight, but I don't think it was me.
It was Liz. Liz had to learn how to use AO3. After
our last show that we did 2 weeks ago, we have a whole after the show thing that happens, which is very fun. But we were filling out the spreadsheet, and Sly and Alexis taught me how to like do bookmarks properly on AO3, which I had just never taken the time to figure it out or learn how to do it. And they also taught me how to search things in a better, more functional way as well. So I had a flight then on Monday, 2 days later, and I spent Sunday not packing, but setting up my iPad with all of the work we had done Saturday night. And it was great.
Yeah.
But it was also horrifying because then I downloaded I like reading these long fan fictions, but it doesn't matter when you're reading it on the AO3 browser.
Yep.
Because you're just clicking to the next chapter. But I had to download them to my iPad as PDF, and it was like page 1 of like 10,000 or some absolutely bizarre number. And I was like, oh no, the consequences of my actions.
I did the same thing before my flight, and my iPad genuinely almost crashed because I was downloading so
I gotta
many.
say, downloading as an EPUB is the superior method to downloading on AO3.
I was downloading as an EPUB.
Save it to your Books app.
I was. My iPad is 10 years old and it couldn't handle it.
Okay, after the show, if you're wondering what we're doing when we end the broadcast, Sly's going to teach us how to do that because that's what I wanted to do. Okay, next.
Next is words, sparkle emoji, fire emoji, rolling eyes emoji, skull emoji.
Those are 4 of my top used emojis.
Yeah, same. But it wasn't me. I think it was Sly.
Okay, so it depends on how technical you want to get. Because technically,
I remember this.
was the one who sent it to the group chat.
Yes!
Because I received it from Alexis in a private message.
See, I was going to say,
it was just added to the group chat out of context.
I was going to say Alexis also just commented with the same emoji. We were offending her when we were talking about how we don't gatekeep information from her. I also need to raise this comment. No searching for fanfics. Attack a fandom as a whole.
That's how I used to do it.
I'd like to learn more about this strategy. Please advise.
JJ only reads fanfic by clicking on a fandom and then starting at the most recent and going all the way through.
Most recent.
Listen, there was a time in my life when that's how I did it too.
Most recent. That's so bold. I'm such a fan.
I cannot handle that many works in progress from authors I don't trust.
It has to be completed only.
The works in progress.
The next one. Yes. Gay tree brackets, my favorite activity.
I remember this conversation. Oh no.
I have no idea
this
what this is referring to.
Was not in the group chat and was added retroactively.
So you probably added it to the group chat, but who
sent it?
I think
you.
Alexis added it to the group chat. I did send this. That is correct.
Beautiful. Beautiful work, Alexis. What is a gay tree bracket?
So Alexis sent the limp wrist emoji, a tree emoji, and then just like brackets. And I thought I just hadn't updated my phone and I was like missing an emoji or something. No, she just straight up typed brackets. And so I said, yes, gay tree brackets.
My favorite activity.
Yeah.
I do want to clarify, I'm also in agreement. Marissa's in agreement. I'm in agreement. I would never judge a title. I think titles are the worst part of AO3. There should be no titles, just vibes. I
read titles only when I am reading fics that are in my inbox. So when I subscribe to an author and I get all of their fics sent directly to my email, that's the only reason I know titles, because the subject line will be the title of the fic.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Would never be me.
Next.
All right. Last one. Needs to be a dramatic reading.
Oh, God.
Okay. I snorted really loudly in laughter when I read that. It's snorting season for person who sent this text. That sounds like I have a coke problem. It's more of a reliance on antihistamines to get through the season change, which I don't snort.
I know who it is, and it gives so much context, but we just need to fill 10 seconds for people to guess. Ooh.
My favorite parts of this is it's snorting season and also reliance on antihistamines, which are not snorted.
Which are not snorted.
No. Okay.
It feels like Liz vibes, but typed in a way Alexis would type. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. 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 This applies to Liz, but it's Alexis style. JJ's speechless.
It is, in fact, snorting season for Liz.
Yep.
So, here's what happened. I don't even know if I want to provide context.
It's ragweed season. What more context do you need?
So, here's the thing. It was like a stream of consciousness typing. And I am the type of texter that sends one sentence at a time, like write, send. But I kept writing and being like, oh, they're going to misinterpret that. And then I just couldn't stop. And by the time I got to the end of the text, I was laughing and snorting again because it was sounding like something Alexis would send. And I think, oh, this is so funny. This is how Alexis sends like very important updates. So then I sent it as is. And then I instantly was like, I don't know if that was worth sending, but it was very funny. It also is because I snort when I laugh. I have sinusitis. My sinuses are awful. It's the time of year where my sinuses are really bad. So I've been snorting on every, like that constantly, like on every call I've been on. It's been very embarrassing. So I don't do drugs. That's the end. Would you like to see my Costco-sized bottle of antihistamines? There's 2, and I go through them at a moderate rate.
Oh man, I love that for y'all.
Shout out to everyone on antihistamines right now, just trying to get through. That's one reason why I'm always excited for Christmas, because the snow falls, and then I just have a cold. That's different.
Yeah.
Sniffle season better than snorting season.
It really is. It really is. I can take sniffle season. I just bought a new humidifier. I cannot wait to break that baby out when it is -1. It'll be so good.
God, I hate Celsius.
Why? It makes so much sense. It's the system that makes the most sense.
See, in my head, I was like, yeah, -1. That's normal winter weather.
It is.
Yeah. -1 Fahrenheit.
-1 Fahrenheit is normal winter weather.
You're talking about 30s Fahrenheit, Liz.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I should have my humidifier out already.
So my thing is, like, 30s is uncomfortable. That makes sense. 100 degrees Fahrenheit, uncomfortable. That makes sense. Like 70s, ideal for most people. Not for me, but like 70s being ideal. Like a C. That's good. So like a scale of like 0 to 100 Fahrenheit, it like makes sense in my brain. 0 degrees Celsius being like shorts weather for me still does not make sense in my brain.
Well, it's also interesting where I live, like right on the ocean, it's always damp. So it feels colder faster. Like it's not like a dry cold. It's like a damp cold. So like, you're as it feels temperature versus your actual temperature, it'll be like 0 degrees feels like -15.
Yep.
That's
how we party over here too.
Here's a stupid question. Sly, how much does it snow where you live? Does it snow much where you live?
It snows.
I live on a mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Right, it does snow where you live.
Yeah, didn't you lose power like 5 times because of snow?
Oh yeah.
We lose power every time it rains heavily. That's because our power is run through a canyon. Oh. So every time it gets knocked out, it takes forever to get repaired.
Why is this weird to hear about? Why is it weird to talk about humidifiers?
Because it's humid in the South.
See, American context I did not have. It's just cold everywhere in Canada right now. There's no South. Everyone is cold. It's bad.
No, it's dry and cold. But it's actually not cold. It's really discomforting that it's 70.
I know. It's been really warm.
But it's dry. It's not humid anymore. So like I should have my humidifier out anyway. Like it's really upsetting.
To answer your question, Liz, it depends on the year and also global warming. But we get at least a couple inches every year, regardless. And we can get up to 2 feet where I'm at. If you go into like the nearest like real town, they have less, but they always get a couple inches. But yeah, I'm directly at the base of a mountain, so we get a lot of snow.
Understood. All right. It's time. We've made it through the very chaotic show doc. A round of tacos.
We have a whole one more segment left, my dude.
I know. Let's close up this show and share what's under the radar, which is oddly political. And I don't just mean political, but like it's more of life advice than it is recommendation.
It's a call to action this week.
Call to action night. I'm also going to plug some stuff I think you should watch. For me, you can follow me everywhere at Producer Liz. You can virtually hold my hand while we wait and see if I placed on the Best of Halifax list. And even if we did not, I am thankful for all of you for being here every week and for watching my content and engaging. It's so cool to have this community. If you're looking for something to watch, The Good Nurse is out on Netflix with Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne. It's an interesting watch, and I'm intrigued to see what people think about it because we'll talk about it on TikTok. But also, it's soup season. Hooray. Maybe not where it's hot in the South, but here it certainly is. And my Instant Pot is, I really should start chronicling my adventures because it's not going well and it keeps yelling at me and I keep doing things wrong. But we will continue to try. So if you're making soup, send me your recipes. And if you're also fighting with your Instant Pot, let me know because I feel like it's supposed to be the easiest thing to cook with and it keeps yelling at me that it's going to set itself on fire. That's what I'm dealing with right now. Happy November. It is officially holiday drink and Evermore season. So if you're not going through the drive-thru while listening to 'Tis the Damn Season, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to not look at your phone for 10 minutes. And that's where I'm at. Marissa, time for a PSA.
Marissa should go last.
Okay, Sly.
Sorry, I just want Marissa to go last.
No, it's good. I agree.
The show. Yeah. A very emotional November 5th to all who celebrate. I say as if I've ever seen a single episode of Supernatural. My call to action this week is if perhaps a storm happened yesterday and your power started flickering and it reminded you that you have yet to prep for winter where you lose power frequently. Maybe do your winter prep before your power gets knocked out for real next time. This is as much of a call to action to me personally as it is to our audience. But it's fine. If you want to find me on the internet, you can find me on Point in Progress at Point in Progress everywhere. I do the Point in Progress podcast. I also do MC University, which this week my episode with the one and only producer Liz went live. So out now, you can watch Marissa's Amazing Spider-Man episode. You can watch Liz's Amazing Spider-Man 2 episode. And in a very near future, there's an episode with Alexis that will be dropping on the feed. So go check out MC University. It's one of my favorite shows I do. It's a great time. You can also find me on Thirsty Thursdays live sometimes on TikTok. Sometimes I get too drunk and accidentally call my gay friends gay and get banned from going live. I did get restored access, but I did call JJ gay and then immediately got banned. So then we hung out on Instagram. It's fine. So look for us on TikTok. If we're not there, maybe check out Instagram. We might have moved. What else do I do? And this, you can find me on at After Party Show on all the socials here with these lovely faces. Now Marissa's going to be much kinder than I am and give a strong call to action. I would be much more aggressive with my call to action if I was about to say what Marissa's about to say.
We should say follow just Alexis Blake. Alexis will be back. Yeah. Follow for academia, school, cat mom, possible not thrifting, I'm trying to estate sale, and general life content and chaotic tweets about shows she's watching without context on Twitter.
I can't wait to see her Christmas decorations.
I know. Slay. Alexis slays the holidays. Marissa.
Okay. I alienated. Oh.
Nope.
I alienated viewers during my rant, and apologies to international viewers, but I'm going to alienate you again for a moment. This is a specific call to action to our American viewers. If you are over the age of 18 or will be 18 by November 8th, which is Tuesday, right?
Close enough.
Yeah.
In a couple days.
Uh-huh.
The 8th is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday.
Okay, thank God.
Confirmed.
If you will be 18 by November 8th, go vote in the midterm elections. If you are in, I pulled it up already. If you are in California, Colorado, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Carolina, Utah, Vermont, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming, you can go to vote and register that day. You don't have to be pre-registered. If you have previously registered to vote, check your voter registration ahead of time. There's early voting open this weekend in many states. You can find all of this information at vote.org. You can find out where to vote, how to vote. If you're registered, you can pre-register. You can see a sample ballot, vote.org. Please go vote. It's very important. I do care who you vote for, but I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Just vote. It's very important, especially people 18 to 29. 36% of Americans 18 to 39 voted in the previous midterm election, and we need to show up and show out. Vote. Vote.org for more information.
Natasha would want you to vote.
And if you live in a evolved state who votes by mail like every other state should, because it's the most logical system, and you returned your vote by mail and it was already accepted, double check that it was accepted, because my ballot was accepted on the 26th of October. So check.
Yes,
if you're not in a state that votes by mail, vote for people who will create a system that votes by mail.
And if you have a vote by mail ballot that you have not yet turned in, look up your state's information. Most likely you can mail it by election day and it will still count, or you can find an early voting location or go to the polls the day of the election and drop it off there as well. Vote.org has all this information.
Natasha would want you to vote. Elena would want you to vote. Edward probably wouldn't care. He's also a vampire and will outlive the laws. You won't, so you should vote.
Being a crown prince of a monarchy is surprisingly very pro-democracy, as seen in seasons 1 and 2. So he would encourage you to vote.
Alpine would want you to vote. Bucky would absolutely want you to vote.
Yep. Yeah. All your faves would want you to vote.
We want you to vote. We're your faves. You're our faves.
Yeah. If you go vote, don't take a picture of your ballot, but if you post about voting, tag me. I'll hype you up.
We'll for every person that votes and DMs Marissa, Marissa will reveal one shameful fanfic trope she's read.
You know what? I'll do it.
Hey, there it is.
But you have to send it to me. I'm not just saying this willy-nilly.
You gotta vote. One vote for one shameful fanfic trope, or read, or admission to the crowd.
And they're not shameful. They're just shameful to me. They're very vanilla.
Encourage people to vote. Don't pull a Hank Green and try to get sent to federal prison to encourage people to vote monetarily. Just don't do it.
But you know what you can do if you want to make Hank Green happy is you can buy socks using my affiliate link, which I think I exited out of the tab, but it's linked in my bio if you want to sign up for Awesome Socks Club. Show Hank Green that he should work with me again. Hooray. And with that, it's the end of our night. I'm going to go learn how to download fan fiction with Sly. If you're also looking for that information, let us know, and we might make it Patreon content someday. Bye, everyone.
Follow us everywhere at After Party Show.